These are the 5 worst things about making and selling a game in 2025 from my point of view. One is the competition is higher than it's ever been before. You've got all of these new games coming out, and it's hard to stand out amongst all of them. But you've also got these classics or semi-classics that are pretty recent, but they're still like 5 years old, 10 years old, but they're still really popular. And when people look at your game and they look at this game, and they don't have either of them, they have to make a decision if they want to buy yours or that. There's definitely a part of the market that's always looking for something new, but there's also a part of the market that's looking for something good, right? And that's just another part of the entire equation that you're competing with. Number 2, the customer's expectation just continues to go up. And this wouldn't be as big of a problem if it wasn't for the third point that I'm going to get to soon. But as it stands, the more the customer demands, the more that just puts that feature development, that iteration refinement onto the developers that are responsible for making that game. So you've got a game that's got to have a perfect UI, that's got to have a perfect networking stack, that's got to be readable in all these different languages and accessible, that's got to have great mechanics, blah, 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 blah. It's just, and if there's anything wrong with that, you can get flamed, absolutely eviscerated through Steam's review system, which I love. I think Steam's review system is the best thing about Steam, to be honest. But yeah, so that is just making it harder. The third thing, which ties into this, is that the prices for games haven't adjusted for inflation or anything else. So you're effectively working with higher demands and you're getting paid less for it per unit sold. That's a really bad equation, to be honest, and it puts me off of the entire thing, but making games is so appealing for intrinsic reasons that lots of people continue to do it, especially if you're in some different country where the cost of living isn't as high, then it's a lot more competitive to imagine still trying to make a game. But in the US and some of these other really high cost of living places, it can be a real kind of detriment. This also is on top of there being what I would say is really questionable market realities, like Steam taking a 30% cut. Now, I love a lot of Steam's features, but a 30% cut is just an insane thing to do. It obviously cuts into every developer's bottom line in the end. And customers really don't have much empathy for it because, in their opinion, they just want more good games. They can't understand the profound effect that something like this might have on the quality of a game. I really think that Steam, in a sense, is encouraging people to make worse games, and a lot of them, and to use other means of actually selling it, because it's not actually about it being a good game, it's about it being cheap. Okay, so the next thing, and this kind of ties into competition, but I think it's a little bit different, is opportunities are just gone. The opportunity to make a logical successor to the Harvest Moon franchise and to be the first is gone. Stardew Valley won it, and they won it arbitrarily. The creator wasn't a genius. I wouldn't say any human is a genius, and I'm not saying he's dumb. I don't even know much about him. He's probably really cool, and the game is good, but no one is really a genius here. What happened is the market was just perfectly set up for basically heavily rewarding filling that vacuum, and that's what he did. But all of these other games have come out after it, and they are just not even remotely close to statistically as successful. And it's because the opportunity's gone. Maybe it'll come back in some way or another. I don't know. The main thing you could argue with modern day is that some opportunities are gone, but new ones are available now because of enhances in technology. I don't really believe that. I think making a new innovative game is really expensive and a difficult thing. And I don't think technology just magically solves that problem, but I really don't know. I think we'll have to just wait and see. My intuition is that it's still really hard to come up with good new ideas, and it's even harder now that you can't do something like a farming sim without basically just repeating and rehashing the same thing. All right, the last point in this entire thing is selling a game feels a lot more like just having other things go right or focusing on other things besides the game altogether. Having a streamer play the game, having a big streamer play the game, more important than anything else. having Steam promote the game, more important than anything else. Effectively, just getting the game in front of people without paying for it is the most important thing. If you pay for it, you're not winning anything. But if you don't pay for it and you get still like a million advertisements because of a streamer that just randomly chooses to play it, then that's how you win. It's like Schedule 1, I haven't even played the game. The game is super popular, super whatever. But I really feel like that game's success comes from a very basic thing. It's a streamable game, and that's what streamers do. You can see people content farm it because, so it's not, it's forcing a very specific type of game to be produced. That's what the market is saying, and that's not cool. That's a bad thing about video games. What if you want to make something cool, like an RTS? Zero chance of it working. Every RTS I see is struggling so hard, even though it's got probably some of the best talent behind it. When you compare it to Schedule 1, not trying to flame the dude, but it's just not even close. So there's this huge disparity, and I think it makes it a bad time to make a game, but those are just some of the worst things about it. I don't actually think that means you shouldn't try and do it. Those are just things that I wish were different. I wish the types of games that I wanted to make were the Schedule ones, were really popular and hot, and maybe that's probably not the case. So there's definitely a formula that you're pushed in like that direction, and there's definitely ultra competition, and a lot of opportunities you may have enjoyed doing are gone, and the prices haven't really increased, and Steam still takes a 30% cut. But hey, it's video games and it's pretty cool, and I'm still going to try and do it. But those are what I think are the top 5 worst things currently. So let me know what you think in the comments.